Hello, I'm Brad Wasik. This is my brother Brian Wasik, and we're here at our family cheese shop, Wasik's Cheese Shop in Wellesley. We've been in business in this location for about 30 years, and Brian and I are second-generation cheesemongers. And what does that mean? I guess is we grew up in the business, where our father's been in this cheese business since 1964, and he could tell you everything about cheese and wine pairing. We've taken the liberty to expand that onto maybe cheese and beer pairing and cheese and whiskey pairing. So today, my brother Brian's going to discuss a few of his favorite cheeses he likes to pair with some serious beers, and I'll chat a little bit about cheese and bourbon.
Thank you, Brad. As Brad said, we're second-generation cheesemongers. Cheese is always best served after dinner. That's one thing we've learned from our father. But being second-generation cheesemongers, I think cheese works really well with martinis before dinner. And if we only had after-dinner cheeses, we wouldn't have a store. Most of our customers come in for cheese for before dinner. And other than martinis, I really like beer. Everybody that comes into the store knows that I'm a big beer fiend. And one of my favorite beers is right here. It's called Berkshire Brewery. These guys are located out in Western Massachusetts. And right now I have their IPA, which is probably one of my favorite kinds of beer. IPAs are very high in hops, and that strong hoppy flavor really comes through and matches, I think, very well to most cheeses. The cheeses I've picked for my IPA is the first one, a California cloth-bound cheddar. This is actually a cheddar made in California in the San Joaquin Valley in the English style or the English tradition, which always means it's wrapped in cheesecloth. That allows the cheese to mature much differently. You get much more complex flavors. Clive Coates, one of the biggest wine guys in the world, he's English, so of course he likes his English cloth-bound cheddars with Bordeaux. I like my California cloth-bounds with Berkshire Brewery IPA. I think it's a magnificent match. My other favorite cheese for pairing cheese and beer is always English Farmhouse Stilton. One of the major rules for pairing beverages to cheeses is always find the local cheese with the local wine, or in this case, beer. England is not known for wine. They are much more known for beer. But the English like to pair this with ports. A very wonderful combination, but let's face it, Stilton was actually born in a pub, and they were most likely hoisting many pints of ale with their Stiltons, and I just think that's a super match. So without holding Brad up, because I know he wants to get into his bourbon and cheese.
I appreciate that, Brian. Brian mentioned earlier about local with local. I am drinking a bourbon from Kentucky, and as last I checked, they don't make too many cheeses down in Kentucky. So I've picked a couple cheeses that'll be strong enough to pair with a serious bourbon. Today we are eating a Grayson, which is a washed rind hearty cheese from Virginia. So that's about as close as we could get down to the south. And also a Gouda Cost Reserve, an aged farmhouse aged Gouda from Holland. The Gouda is a little bit salty and sweeter and can really stand up next to the powerful bourbon as well as the Grayson.
So, as second-generation cheesemongers, I hope we've proven, I know it tastes good, I hope we've proven that you don't have to always pair cheeses to wine. Although they do go wonderful together, you can find matches out there that go equally well with a good pint. Or, Brad, are you drinking pints of bourbon nowadays, or is it just a single glass?
No, not quite, just one glass at a time, absolutely.
So, feel free to think outside the wheel and hoist your favorite beverage and try some cheeses to pair with it. Some may work, some may not, but if you like it, that's the only thing that's important. So,
good point, Brian. Cheers.
Cheers.